All right, everybody, welcome to how to triple your monthly income by not selling. So, Candice will back me up on this. There's two things that a business actually is above all else. And firstly, you are a sales company. Secondly, Candice, what are we?
A sales company.
Sales company, and we're a marketing company, and every business is exactly the same. There's two things that you need to be first and foremost. And this masterclass is how you can double down on that and get yourself so clear and so accurate to what it is that you're delivering in your company. So thinking about who your customer is, what your business is, what your problem is, what your solution is, and then looking through some of the problems that come up for business owners, which we call the wheel of death, which you're going to see very shortly. And then we're going to learn how to overcome those and why it's valuable to do it. So let's get started. I'm going to click the slide. So the most important thing we want to do is bring a customer from customer, which is this cool little red balloon guy, to contact where they can see your products, what your value is, what you have to offer, where they can get in contact to you, the process that they need to get in contact to you, and then they can come to a sales process. And there's a pretty cool little cactus there. And I think the important thing about that is as we're all probably aware, and you can write yes in the comments, so you can reach out to us, but some sales processes can feel a bit prickly. Have you ever been the victim of one of these prickly, horrible sales processes? So give us a yes if you have. Just want to let you know that Australia has gained 400,000 new millionaires last year. 400,000 new millionaires last year. There are now 2.18 million millionaires in Australia. And I'm curious if you want next year, because that's going to increase again, for one of those millionaires to be you, for you to be able to claim that title. It'd be pretty cool and give you a lot of freedom. The Credit Suisse reports by 2026, the number of millionaires in Australia will increase by another 35%. Like, we want to get you guys in that 35%. Businesses can have greater returns than property or shares. Candice, I'd love you to talk into this. It's super important that people recognize that, yes, you get great return from property, and yes, you get great return from shares. It's something that I've done myself, and it is an awesome feeling. But there has been no greater return than the fact that the turnover in my business and the profitability of my business is what's the estimated it can be?
The turnover.
Yeah, your return from a business investment.
So I mean, ultimately you can set your business up to be like an ATM, right? Where it's just money coming out, and you might be putting transactions in or deposits in by way of educating yourself, or spending money on certain marketing or advertising dollars. But ultimately, business does have a greater return than most other investments, because it can be literally from 0 to 3,000% overnight if you hit the nail on the head, and if you got the finger on the pulse for the right product, and you can get it in front of, or service, and you can get it in front of the right audience, and you offer some sort of guarantee where people would basically be crazy to not buy, then that's the kind of returns that you can get in your business. Up to 3,000% is what I've read about recently, which is phenomenal. I don't know of anything else returning 3,000%.
3,000% is actually incredible. Warren Buffett, on a good year, gets a 20% return, and he's the greatest investor of our generation. So 3,000% for, like we call ourselves, mum and dad business owners, startups, anyone up to 7 to double 7 figures, is a startup business and a small business currently, which is pretty crazy. And you can get a 3,000% return on that. So if you made 30,000 next year and you invested all of that back into your business for education, marketing, advertising, and learning how to sell properly and getting a great product, the opportunities are actually endless for you to create some real legacy and some real generational wealth if you get it right. And that's the key thing. It's about getting it right. We're going to jump
Absolutely. And most of our clients who use our organic marketing strategy on social media, specifically for service or coaching based businesses, do see those kind of returns. I mean, they can go from a 0 turnover to $5,000. You know, the most common one that we've seen is between $5,000 and $10,000 a month in turnover quite quickly. I mean, in the space of a couple of weeks, and that's life-changing.
It's so life-changing, especially if it's like if you're watching this masterclass and you've had that feeling like where you're at that 2,000 to 3,000, or you'll have a really good month, or you'll have a great client and you have this awesome experience of really truly serving someone and helping them. And then you come in and you build out a great organic marketing strategy and a great sales process and a great business process. And then you hit 5-10K months consistency for 5 months, which is pretty normal for people who show up with us at the start. And we've also helped people go from 10 to 12K months to 250 to 125,000 a year increase in online turnover with a couple of other clients. And there are exceptions where people just skyrocket because they've got all the pieces in the right place. But what we do and what we're so passionate about is helping people get that consistency so their business has the ability to be able to achieve that. What our mission is actually to give people that freedom and that abundance. And we'll talk a little bit about that here. So the next thing we're going to move into is the wheel of death. So if you can see on the slides there, these are the 8 things that are going to destroy your profitability and prevent you from the triple income that you should have already been achieving if you haven't nailed one of these. So number 1, it's a small list, and this is a small Facebook group, it's a small email marketing group, it's a small list of people in your phone contacts. So important to get that out there and network. Number 2 is low traffic, and that's those people actually coming and seeing who you are. So imagine you're a shop front, there's people driving past. If nobody's driving past, then you've got low traffic and you've got a true problem. Low conversion, it's no point talking to 1 million people if none of them are going to buy. So having 50,000 friends on Facebook or Instagram isn't the answer. Undefined client avatar, this one's huge. It's not knowing who you're actually talking to and why. Something Candice is super passionate about it, and myself. Reactive marketing, you want to just cut out reactive marketing. It's like you learn something and you try and implement it the next day. Take your time. Advertising that doesn't convert kills businesses. Like, actually, this is the wheel of death. Undefined product or service. Poor cash flow, so you can't move when you want to. And all those put together are that wheel of death. And these are the problems that we help you solve in business, amongst many others. Our mission. So I said we're going to talk about this. What we hope to achieve with this masterclass is for you to feel inspired, like you want to ask questions, and more is possible for you. And with some simple, actionable steps, you're going to be able to help you head in the right direction, having more money, more impact, and overall happiness this year. A brief intro from myself. Some of you might know me that are watching, some of you may not. It might be new. My name's Tyler Erickson. I've been a business coach and consultant for about 8 years. Started off working in the mining industry, as well as running my own businesses and scaling other people's businesses. I've been running men's compassionate leadership for a very long period of time. And I'm currently studying my MBA to further my own education and knowledge. And the products that we deliver are now university grade and style products, and we're taking it right from what I'm learning and then falsifying it so it's easy for the customer and the consumer to be able to move through it and action things that are going to work in the real world, that have been studied, that have been implemented, that have had case studies. This isn't stuff that we're just making up. It's stuff that we're making really accessible and able to digest for you guys. An international best-selling author. What else am I? There's so many little things that are really important, because we believe that lineage and somebody's education is what allows you to be able to coach somebody else. So we've got runs on the board. We've got over 4,000 hours of applied facilitation and coaching one-on-one. So huge groups of over 100 people teaching coaches how to become coaches, teaching business owners how to become business owners, and teaching sales, and working with people right down to the core of the problems that they come up in their business, in their home life, all of that across the board. So that's a little bit about myself, and I'll let Candice introduce herself.
Amazing. Yeah. And Tyler tends to not lean into some of his major successes. He's so humble. So one of the other things that Tyler has done is he's been part of generating more than $1 billion in revenue for the companies that he has worked within and consulted to over that period of time as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. And cash is what keeps a business going. So your area of genius is also getting to the root cause of a problem and solving it for somebody in the moment, which I wish I had in a coach so many years ago. It saves so much time and money. But that aside, I
take it for granted because it's something that I find really easy and I enjoy. So thank you for sharing that.
You forget that it's not so common. I'm Candice Hazeltine. I've been a business owner for more than 20 years. My ABN just recently had its 19th birthday, which is pretty cool according to the accountant. I didn't realize that that's good for finance as well. I'm an international coach. I am also an author. I love business. I started my first business when I was 11 years old, despite the fact that my family did not have a great experience in business. There was just something in me that this is just who I am. This is what I believe. I never understood the exchanging time for an hourly rate. I actually couldn't compute that in my mind as a young girl who was 11 and 12 years old and had all these dreams of the things that I wanted and what I wanted to do. Business for me is a vehicle to not only, the most incredible levels of personal development and really having to discover things about yourself, but for wealth generation, for independence. Having a business is, whether it's successful or not, is a direct result of you and what you're doing and how you're showing up. And my key area of genius in business has become marketing, purely because I have always started businesses from scratch. And I'm talking with either stuff that was lying around the house or a couple of $100 in the bank. I've never invested more than $200 into starting a business. And that was when it was hard. That was when things like Canva didn't exist. Social media didn't exist. I was actually pen writing notes to clients and dropping them in their letterboxes saying, hey, I would really love to get you on board. So this is my area of genius. And now that we have all these incredible tools at our disposal, many of them free, I've become super passionate about learning how to optimize and take everything that you could possibly imagine that's free to turn it into profit in a business. And that's where I get super excited working with people.
That's awesome. Thanks, babe, Candice. If you don't know, Candice and I are engaged, and
yay,
the venture that we've taken on off is going to just share a little bit about our mission, and then we're going to get delved into the learning, and it's probably only going to take us about 20 minutes. So once we get through this bit, you guys will be able to sort of learn a little bit and have some awesome things to take away. So Candice came from a background where her family didn't do so great in business, and that caused some struggles for her growing up. And it made her want to step out there and become a business owner because she could see it was possible. But there were times where things were tough, and I just want to recognize that a lot of children grow up in homes where parents are just making ends meet and just getting by. My childhood was completely different. My parents were small business owners, and they did get advice from outside sources, and they ran successful businesses. So I had this childhood of abundance and love, and we always had the best shoes. There was always freezers full of food. We could sort of do whatever we wanted. Anything was possible, and it felt like the sky was the limit. And that launched me into a life set up for success. And we're thinking about we're having a baby this year. We're going to start to put the plans in place to get our bodies ready to have a baby. And we decided that if we want our mission to be helping people get their business to a place so they can impact the people around them and their families to have the childhood that I have. So millions of children have those childhoods, and their brothers and sisters have those childhoods, and then their children have those childhoods. So nobody has to grow up in a home where they feel like they're going without, like they have struggled, and it's just completely and utterly set up for success for those individuals. So that's our mission. That's what we believe in. And we wanted to share all those things at the start about what we do and where we come from and why we do what we do. We're not just a flash in the pan. We didn't just have a couple of good months in the business coaches. This is something we'll be doing for a long period of time across various industries, and leadership and running a business is something that we're truly passionate about. All right, let's get started. Make sure I click the slide right. There we go. All right. Did that work, Candice? I'm just checking in with the tech.
Yes, I can see implementing is key.
Implementing is key. We want you to see if you implement what we're teaching you, you're going to start making more sales and getting clients. So we quite often
It's a given.
It's a given. We quite often do 6-figure months when we turn on all our wheels, I guess you could say. So we've regularly done 6-figure months. We'll do a couple more this year, and then we just turn them off when we want to. And it's about us implementing. It's no one else does this for you. This is all about you. We've noticed when people are present in trainings or don't make a plan to implement, they do not get results. So you will only get results if you take the information we share and make a plan. Please make a plan. We want everybody to succeed. Stay until the end. Candice, you say it too.
Stay until the end. We're going to help you with your implementation so that you do actually take the next steps, because a lot of people who have done personal development or coaching before, I'm sure you can relate to that experience of feeling quite high vibe. You've learned some stuff which was exciting. You've got that feeling inside of how, you know it's going to make change, and then get back out into the environment and not much happens. So it's really important to us that people implement, and we're going to hold you accountable to that.
Awesome. We will hold you accountable. Okay, next. So these are 2 wheels. We're not going to go deeply into this. We're just going to talk a little bit about it. And these are some of the things that we truly believe are going to help you triple your income. We'll talk a little bit about some of them. Everything we teach maps across to 1 or 2 others. That means that, one little piece of advice can actually help a lot of these. So we've went through the wheel of death. This is marketing mastery. Remember, you are a sales business. You are a marketing business. Here is everything. This is everything that a 6-figure monthly business has learned and implemented. This is what we've done. This is what our clients have done. And this is what other businesses that are our peers have done also. Today, we're focusing on number 3, which is a high converting sales system. Okay. Some of these others will be affected. It's just how it works, but we're focusing on number 3. So you got lead generation, lead converting, high converting, getting in the head of your client. Candice loves that stuff. So do I. Once you do that properly, which you do in our 10-month program, where you actually know what your client is feeling, thinking, what keeps them up all night, what helps them get to sleep. Plan strategy with a high ROI, super important that you're not just working for nothing. Quality copy that speaks to 97% of the market. That's another killer for a business. If you have that one nailed, you're guaranteed to get leads. Product and service strategy, sales on tap. That's the key. You want to just be able to turn that tap on whenever you feel like a glass of money. Okay.
Yeah, and this marketing mastery is just go back to it for a second. I recommend if people want to even take like a photo or a screenshot of that, because the marketing mastery wheel is the resolution for the wheel of death. So point 1, if you've got a small list, you need lead generation marketing, whether that's paid, whether it's organic, you need some sort of strategy around lead generation. And as you're saying, Tyler, we're only focusing on point 3 today due to time, because we don't have 10 months right now. Low conversions is problem number 3. The direct resolve for that is high converting sales system. And we're going to be giving you a strategy for a high converting sales system today.
100%. Yeah, thank you for reiterating. It's like it's a fucking game changer. Like, so take a screenshot of the green, save it as a screensaver on your phone. Take a screenshot of the red one. Make sure you check in with it that you're not doing any of those things. If any of those things are showing up, please ask for help. Ask questions. We're going to be going live a lot this week and next week. So if you have any questions and you ask them, everybody knows that I'll just answer the questions, even though I'm not supposed to, and they get in trouble with the team. I really just want to help people. Okay. Let's get to the next one. And I want to try and be as efficient as we can with this, so you guys are getting the most value in the shortest amount of time without having to be distracted or like getting pulled away from your business. These are our 9 pillars that we focus on in our 10-month coaching container. Confidence. So business, marketing, sales, confidence. Business, marketing, sales, certainty. Business, marketing, sales, authority. Business, marketing, sales, advantage. Business, marketing, sales, credibility. Business, marketing, sales, mastery. Business, marketing, sales, evolution. Business, marketing, sales, leadership. And finally, business, marketing, and sales, wisdom and leverage. these are the things that we focus on. Like we said, Candice is in business for 19 years. And before that, she was running little like school businesses when she was a little girl. I started my first business when I was 11 years old, believe it or not, selling mice. And I ran businesses, plus worked in family businesses and operated other people's businesses in management and leadership and area management roles for such a long period of time. This is what's going to find you the success. So please take a screenshot of that, focus in on it. It's everything that you actually need to become. So a business needs to become these things so you can operate that business. And that'll make sense as we move into the next part of the training. Do you have anything to touch on there, Candice, before we move into what, how, why?
No, but I did just want to say that the one important thing, or there's a few, but something that's really important in being successful in business is to keep going. So to keep seeking, to keep finding the answer. 95% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. That statistic has been alive in Australia for more than 20 years. And it's actually a global statistic. It's very similar in other larger countries like America and Europe. And the thing is, 5% succeed. And there's a reason why they have. They've figured it out. And I'm one of those people that have run a business that was started from scratch for more than 5 years and then sold it for a profit and got to go holiday in Thailand afterwards. You don't get that when you leave a job. You don't get a chunk of cash often. So you just need to keep going. You need to keep figuring out, and you need to be persistent, and you need to be like a seeker of knowledge to find those answers, because they're there, and we're going to give you some of them today.
A great point. Like, actually just keep going, keep seeking, keep learning, and have as much fun as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is some of Simon's the next work, and it's something that we've doubled down on because we've known it should be truly, truly impactful. This is the way that Apple markets. This is the way some of the big Fortune 500 companies that have just cropped it have marked. So why would you spend time on what and how when all you need to do is figure out why to create rapport, certainty, and a yes from anyone that you want to sell to? The golden circle to companies like Apple use this leaders, and leaders who inspire use this. So huge companies use this system, and I want you to just please look at how simple it is. And I'm going to explain it to you in a minute. True leaders and successful entrepreneurs and companies operate from inside out. So rather than looking at what your customers will buy from you or how your customers will buy from you, the first thing that you need to engage a person with is why your customer will buy from you. Okay, so this is from the biology of the neocortex. What? Rational analytical thoughts and language. So what you're selling, coaching program, toothpaste, plants, a 10-month coaching container. If we told you everything about it, what? You're going to be like, oh, okay, cool. And you might be a little bit overwhelmed. How is the limbic brain. So how and why is the limbic brain? So it's feelings of trust, loyalty, behavior, decision-making. That's a key one, decision-making. And it has a no capacity for language. It has no capacity for language. So why someone will buy from you, they don't actually even know how to articulate back from you why they want to buy with you. But if you've ever heard somebody say, I just got that gut feeling, I just know it's right, it's because you've delivered on your why. It's so important for people to know why you do what you do and why they should buy it rather than how or what. The reason why we've done the circles this way is because what is a fuckload of information. Yeah. What you do, you can talk about for hours and hours and hours, and most people can. And it is important to know all that knowledge because you need to be able to deliver what your product is. How you do what you do. Most people can talk about a little bit less than what, but they can talk about it a lot, a lot, a lot. Why you do what you do can be distilled down to one sentence. We want families to have abundance so they can have an impact and more children grow up in a home where they can have abundance. That's all you need to know about why we do what we do. How we do what we do that by delivering a 10-month coaching container. In that container, we go through all those little circles that we talked about earlier. So all those pillars is how we deliver that. What you're going to get, it is going to be group coaching weekly. It's going to be evergreens. It's going to be 10 months worth. You're going to learn how to do a business plan. Like it goes on and on and on. And I can just talk about that for hours and hours. I'm trying to keep this short so you guys get the most amount of value that you can. But the why is the reason why you're going to want to say yes to us, because you want to achieve that goal that we've set out to ensuring that everybody who works with us gets. And that's true abundance. Does this make sense? The reason why somebody does something can often be said in one sentence. I'm going to say that again. The reason why somebody does something can often be said in one sentence. And I really want you to just knuckle in on that. This is going to help you really triple that income. How? Takes education and a body of information. What somebody does takes experience, knowledge, and coercing. So who's being on a coercing sales call where somebody's just trying to talk you into it and find out all the reasons what you need and what you're going to do, and by the end of it you're exhausted. The reason how somebody does something takes education. This actually can be quite boring trying to explain this to people. You've got to go through the process, and this is where huge flyers come through, and you need all the information of how you're going to learn it. And by the end of it, you kind of go, well, I could probably figure out myself, or I'm so overwhelmed that I don't think I can do it. But why is the reason that somebody's going to be driven. And that, like I said, that's that limbic brain. Does that make sense? Candice, have you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, yeah, I do. So yeah, as you were saying, Tyler, outside in, people can understand the features and benefits and facts and figures, which is really common in, I'm just thinking back over sales processes I've been through over the last couple of weeks, and it's really common. So many businesses focus on the what, however, it doesn't drive that behavior, and it doesn't allow someone to want to attach themselves to you in an emotional capacity because they believe in what you do, or they really like you as a company. And personally, having spent more than $260,000 in coaches, mentors, trainings over the last 20 years, I feel in the past it was about 60,000 that I'd wasted. I'm now thinking it's probably closer to about 100,000 that has been wasted in there. And just choosing coaches that or mentors that had a great sales pitch that went through a lot of the what, and I thought that I needed it all. And I'm just thinking out loud here, Tyler, because another reason why I'm so passionate about this business coaching and the work that we offer people is because I have been through that process of spending a lot of money and not getting the result. And I've now been successful in business in multiple markets over 2 decades, and you've been super successful in business for coming up to a decade, studying your MBA at university. And I'm going rogue here, but I'm just thinking about these are some more of the reasons why that we're offering this, because we know that it's valuable, and we know that it's fair, and we know that people are going to have a really great personal experience as well as a business advantage experience coming through working through with us.
Yeah. So it's really important that you may sell some people on your what, but you're going to sell people on your what, and you may sell people on your how, and you'll get them through the door. If you truly want to get results for someone and someone to keep talking positively about you, Candice just mentioned that about 100 grand of everything that she's invested feels like a bit of a waste. You want people to say every bit of work they've done with you, every referral you'll have, is that why, that they help you get closer to that reason that you believe that you're valuable and created value within yourself, and the client believes it's valuable, and you're focusing on that why. If you get the why right, you'll convert everybody that jumps on a sales call with you, except if they have 2 things wrong. They don't have the time, or they don't have the money, which should be the only objections that you're handling. Everything else should be covered by it. Okay, we're going to move on to the next step. This is really important. Please, I'll let it hover there for a minute. Take a screenshot of these circles, and just remember, when you're talking to somebody, start with why and how, then what. Okay. Here's the next slide. Right. This is the key. This is what we call the perfect sales quadrant triangle. I'm not sure what this shape's called. I've tried to look it up and I can't pronounce it. So I call this the perfect sales little triangle box thing. You can call it whatever you want. There are 5 positions that you need to assess your sale from and your marketing from. Okay. Number 1 is the business owner. So this is yourself. And if you can see number 1 there, and I want you guys to take notes on this. So 1 has a visible view of 2, 3, 4, and 5. It doesn't have a visible view of 2 and 3. I want you to look at those lines. Number 1 is the business owner. This is you. This is you looking at your customer, looking at your business, looking at your problem, and looking at your solution and going, okay, cool. I need to be up and in date. I need to know the why, the what, and the how about all of these topics to fully, to fully close the gap between 2 and 3. Can you see 2 and 3 across the back there? That is where the customer, because you are not your business, you are your business owner, and we want you to get to a point where you're working on your business and your business become connected because you have enough knowledge, enough impact, and enough ability to be able to close that gap. Okay? How you do that? You go into the body of your customer and you fully learn your complete customer avatar. You know exactly what puts that person to sleep overnight and makes them sleep sound like a baby. You know what keeps them up at night. You know what they're thinking about when they're sitting in the bath by themselves. You know what they're thinking about when they're going a run. You know their problem, right? You know everything about them. You know the language they use. You know what color they dye their hair. You know where they live. You know so much about these people, right? And it's this detailed description of that person that allows you to be able to communicate with them in a way and market to them effectively that's going to allow you to have a conversation with them. There's a new business owner and definitely a new coach syndrome where you go learn all these skills about business and you get out into the real world and people just look at you like you're an idiot. And I know that everybody's had this experience when you're trying to explain to your customer your business because you're speaking in your language, not their language. The key about this is being of service. Yeah. So when you think about your customer, you're being of service. The next thing that you'll need, so once you've learned your customer, the next thing to learn, which is what we teach a lot of, these 2 points, 4 and 5 definitely come into our 10-month coaching container, but we teach a lot of 2 and a lot of 3. And we spend a lot of time on your business and you creating your business as an entity. Think of it as a child that knows nothing. And you are the one who's raising it, you're managing it, you're teaching it, you're loving it, you're giving it all the energy it needs. At the start, money, eventually it'll start to support you, which is pretty cool. For anyone who's a parent, I'm sure that you wish one day your children could support you like you did them. And it's learning your business. So it's learning your numbers, learning how to forecast, learning how to create a marketing plan, learning your mission statements, learning why you do what you do, how you do what you do, your sales process. This business should be so well recorded and documented. And I know that this sounds daunting. I actually know that this, you think about it and you go, well, how do I do all that? Like the program we created, and you can get this stuff online if you want to check it out and do it yourself. So the program we've created helps people get to the bottom of this. There are easier ways of figuring this stuff out rather than going through the hard way and spending hours and hours and hours and hours and days and weeks on it and making mistakes and things. There are ways to get those numbers, and it's not as hard as you think it is. But fuck, it's important to truly know that business. Because one day, where number 1 is, where the business owner is, you want to put a couple of staff members there so they can go work on your business as well. So then you can step away. I talk about laptop lifestyle in our marketing a lot because it's something that people want. They want to be able to go on holidays. If you truly want to do that, this little guy, this number 3, this business has to be firing so hard. So please, today, start figuring out who your business is. I want you to listen to the language, who your business is. You need to create this business as a living, breathing organism that has hopes, dreams, feelings, and it's fed by money. The sole purpose of a business is to make money. Your purpose and your mission can be fed through the business to actually help people. But the sole purpose of a sustainable business, every charity that I've been to a lot of conferences recently with big multi-million, multi-billion-dollar charities, and they are all working towards financial sustainability and creating business models that generate income so they can actually do the mission of their charity. So you're not exempt. Your business's purpose is to make money first and foremost, then it is marketing, then it is sales, and then it is your story and your impact. Yeah. Your why is a different story. Why you do that and the way the business operates and what its mission is how you have that clear line between 1 and 3. It's where you direct it in the way it's going to make its money. you are the spokesperson for your business. Number 4 is the problem. So it's quite easy to go out there and go, I've got this cool product. I'm good at it. I know how to do it. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to sell it to everybody. But you don't know whether everybody else has that problem. You don't know what language they're using. You don't know whether it's even affecting the majority of people who are in your audience or the people that you're marketing to. So really digging in and finding out what that problem is going to allow you to create a product. Yeah. And it could be the product you're already using, and it could be allowing you to market your product to their problem, right? So you're speaking to the person in a way that they can truly grasp what it is that you're trying to help them with. And this is where we go to this metaphor of there's a shepherd and then there's a wolf or a lion, whatever you want to call it, whatever you resonate with most. So the shepherd realizes that the sheep have the problem of being eaten by the wolf. So his job is to guide the sheep. Our job as mentors and coaches are to guide you all the way through. So you do 10 months of coaching and you never have to hire a business coach or planner again because you've got the skills to do it. Your job as a coach, a mentor, or a business owner, or a service supplier, or of a product-based business is to figure out what problem your product solves. Now, that can be the problem of somebody wants more happiness. It could be the problem of somebody needs dog food. It could be the problem of somebody needs a house built. It could be the problem of somebody has deep emotional trauma from their childhood and you really want to help them move through that, which is a beautiful problem to solve. But you don't truly know how to articulate your problem, the person's problem, if you haven't done the research. So number 4 is crucial. Finding the problem. It's down low. Think about all the things that are keeping your client up at night. And last, and definitely not the least, is the solution. So this is your product. When you work with us for a long period of time, we delve right into this and we help you get to the bottom of it. We don't have time to do that right now. We are going to run some more masterclasses on all of these topics. So you'll potentially get 5 more masterclasses, which is pretty exciting, to delve into a little bit more of these. We can't go as deep as 10 months, but we're going to do our best to get the knowledge across as best we can. Is the solution. It's knowing your product and your solution actually helps people. So what people want and what they need are 2 different things. Some of the stuff that we teach in our group coaching container, you don't know that you need yet, but you definitely need it. What you want is more money. Yeah. So when we're marketing to you, we're going to say, hey guys, we can help you make more money, but you want to do it in certain ways. But what you actually need is the system and structures in place so you can run a business that's sustainable. So with these 5 things, like I said, take a screenshot, this little picture, fucking print it out, stick it on your wall and look at it. It's the perfect sales process. If you nail this, I'm going to say this, if you nail all of these 5 things and you really just focus on those things, yeah, you as the business owner are a business owner and you operate the business and you know yourself and your business so well that you can fully show up and you can articulate it, you can sell it, and you got your finger on the pulse. You know your customers so well that you can be inside their head of a night and know what they're thinking and feeling. So the next morning you can message them and go, hey, I just wanted to check in to see how you're going. And they know that it's almost like, what are you inside my brain? You know exactly what I'm saying. The business is so detailed, so structured, so systemified that when you step away from the business, it operates without you, and you can take time off and somebody else can jump in there and run it for you. When you want to talk about your business or ask for help about your business, you actually know what's missing rather than guessing. Number 4, you know the problem that you're solving so well. So when you go to marketing, it isn't what should I write? It's like, I know exactly what I need to put in this post. I know exactly what word I need to put in this social media post. I know exactly who I am talking to the point where you can say their names sometimes. Yeah. And number 5 is the solution. This is an ever evolving product. You want to be working, you want to have your finger on the pulse, you want to be innovative, and you want to be creating something that can truly create the impact that you want to put onto the earth. Truly create the impact. Not just have a brilliant idea, not just have a fucking fantasy that you're going to serve people. It's actually create that change in people's lives. And all of that feeds money into your business, which gives you the abundance of a business owner, which then allows you to truly triple your income and beyond. You know, we easily do 100K in sales months and we work fucking hard for it, but we know all of these things so well. You think about the amount of people we impact over the period when we run our programs that are going to be helped by us knowing that that solution is constantly upgrading and changing and growing, and we're educating. Like I'm doing my MBA. Candice hasn't stopped reading about marketing for the last year. Like it's just constantly growing and evolving that solution, so it's always landing, always exciting, and always fun for you to deliver. So this is how you're going to triple your impact, definitely triple your profits. It's about delving down and getting into these. So my suggestions are, write down those 5 things, and I want you to start asking yourself, I'm just going to go back on the slides, these questions: why, how, and what about all 5 things. Yeah, so take a picture of that if you haven't done it already, and you can wind it back. But anyway, why am I a business owner? What is my business? And what am I as a business owner? How am I a business owner? Why this customer? What is my customer? How is my customer? Why business? What business? How business? Why problem? What business? How? Like, just, I'm not going to go all the way through it. Definitely do that for solution as well. Step into this, lean in. It's up to you. This is something that I've been saying to a lot of clients lately. It is up to you. You will be left behind. The 97% of businesses that fail are the people who don't focus, level up, and grow and work on these things and have solid boundaries. No one is going to do this for you. We can help guide you, and we have helped guide hundreds of businesses over the years to get the success that you want to get. But what I want you to know is that you're the one who has to do the work, and it doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to flog yourself, and you can stay healthy. Our program has a whole holistic health section in it, where we deliver yoga trainings and meditations and when to take a break and how to time manage and all these kind of things. These things, by knowing them and knowing those 5 key things, the ultimate fucking sales process. It's the ultimate way to success, and it's the ultimate way to tripling that income. So that's the end of that. I'm going to leave it with Candice to say a few more things before we move on to the next couple of slides. And they're pretty simple going, and then we're going to finish up.
Yeah, there's some huge nuggets of gold in there that Tyler just dropped, and I'd recommend maybe re-watching this section from the start of this slide again, because just some really key pieces of advice. And before a business is easy, it's actually really hard work. It is. It's really, really hard work. And if you are a new or a small business owner, there's a good chance that you're wearing all of the hats. You're the finance department, you're the sales department, you're the product delivery, you're the complaints department, you're the marketing department. And what Tyler has done here is broken it down into easy, digestible chunks. A problem that I see with a lot of business owners, I was speaking to a beautiful client about this last night, is that people will tend to go and create a business around something that they're trained in or something that they think is cool, and they don't do any product research around that. So it's so important to, as you were saying, Tyler, to get to know your client and know the problem and spend time before you give in your day job or before you go and chuck money down on a business. If you've got money to invest, spend time working out what the market wants. Because if there is not a market, you do not have a business, and you will be ripping your hair out and wasting money, literally throwing money down the drain, trying to get it to work. Where if you do this now, it's going to save so much time and so much money and frustration and a feeling of I failed, where it was just actually the plan failed, or the lack of a plan created the failure.
That's it. It's always the lack of a plan. And also, you can do this. We take people into our program, and you can do this on your own. You don't have to join our program. You can do whatever you want. We want people to succeed, and we've got plenty of clients coming in. We want more. We want to serve you. So if you guys are interested in getting to know more about what it is that we do and having a conversation with Candice or myself or both of us together, we'll be in touch if we send you the link or if you check this out. And please reach out if you have any questions or if you want to know how you can work with us further. Our coaching container is nothing like I have ever seen before. It's both of our work together. I've spoke to a lot of our peers. They're saying I'm over delivering, and we're still adding things.
We're over delivering. But it's great. I want to over deliver. I want people walking away with their minds blown.
This number 5 for us, this solution, is one of the most important things in our business, because we've witnessed all the problems and why people don't succeed. Okay.
Let's get on to this key strategy which blew my business up, tripled my income. we don't have time to go through all of these, but the one that I do want to touch on is 6. Do you want to do a summary of all of them?
Look,
Or
confidence.
why this graph exists?
This graph exists. Okay, confidence. Are you talking to the right person? Are you pre-qualifying? So you record this and write it down. And is your pre-qualifying question define the direction of a sales process? So is what you're doing actually creating the confidence in the person that jumps in the call with you that they know that they want to buy? Certainty, knowing your product, having one thing to sell on a sales call that you're focusing on. So just have one thing. So if you're on a sales call and you've marketed correctly, focus on selling one product to a person. Yes, you can have an upsell and a downsell, but it's super important to only deliver one thing to that person on that call. And then if it doesn't work out, then later on you go, hey, I might have something else valuable to you. So you're not changing definitely your price or your product. It's just focusing on selling to the person. You want to get some no's so you can learn about your customer. And if you're not getting enough no's, then you're not doing enough sales. Authority, creating a customer avatar. So knowing your person so well that you can speak to them as an authority. If you ever talk to somebody that you've just been like, wow, this person knows exactly who I am, and you're answering the burning questions that keep them awake at night, right? Before they ask them. Having an avatar and having a strategy that does this is crucial. Knowing who you're talking to, why they're talking to you, what their hopes and dreams are, asking them questions rather than deciding what you think they need to know, and always having an answer or reference to something more credible. So create a little playbook for your sales. This is what I want everybody to do. I want you to write down all of these things, and I want you to start building out what helps you be a confident, certain, and authoritative person. Having an event.
The point of the lesson here is that how to triple your income without selling. There's just like so many nuggets of gold in these learnings by having those things in place that you just mentioned, Tyler. You have clients coming to you wanting to buy pre-qualified and already sold. Yep. So the whole point is that your business, your structure, your marketing, the way that you're running everything is so tight and so well refined that you're actually not selling. The clients are doing the selling.
Exactly. So they're selling themselves before you get there, but you're selling them.
You're closing it.
Yeah, you're basically just taking their money and then serving them. Having an advantage. I'm just going to go through these. I think it's important. We'll go through it, and we are going to run another masterclass, so don't stress, but start taking action now. Advantage, each sales call, whether it's a yes or no, and you will get no's, gives you the ability to collect data. So be analyzing what happens in every sales call, what people need to feel comfortable to buy your product, having this data pre-recorded, formulating solutions that will give you the advantage to answer quickly and effectively. So knowing what your people are going to say no to, what your community, what your customers are going to say no to, and then starting to build out, whether it's a financial plan for them to pay for it, whether you change your product to be more time effective, whether you have to empower somebody to commit to themselves to pay the money or pay the time. Start recording what's going on and have a little run sheet on the side or a spreadsheet. Like we have a spreadsheet that we offer you when you come into our program, which allows you to go, this person said this, this, and this. This person said this, this, and this. This was their main objection. This was their objection. This is their objection. So after each week, you can test and measure and start to implement things and strategies that your marketing, the key thing, is going to solve your problems for you. Yeah, rather than you having to deal with the consequences on the sales call of somebody going, I don't have time, I don't have money. You've already marketed to that person, and that person is either self-selected from not getting on a call with you or not coming into your shop or not buying your product. And the people who have, you attract more of them and they're on the call ready to buy, like Candice just said. Credibility. A sales call is around 30% of the sales process. 40% comes from the previous marketing delivery. Like I said, you're a marketing and a sales company. That's it. So, and the rest of it comes in through other avenues, as personal processes and things like that. But 30% of the sales is the sales call. So if you're focusing all of your attention on closing someone on that sales call, then you're missing out on a staggering amount of information and data that's going to help you close to triple that income. Yeah, because that's what we want to focus on. Step 6 is mastery. Okay, this is the one that Candice said to write this one down.
If you only do this.
If you do, what was your numbers?
So when I implemented this strategy into my business, I was averaging about 8 or 9K a month, and I instantly went to a 36K month. I couldn't not sell. There was so much momentum. There was so much positive energy. I had to actually stop selling and stop, like, and when I say I couldn't not sell, the inquiries were coming in and I was having basic conversations and they were like wanting to buy. So I had to stop speaking to people because all of a sudden my business just tripled and I didn't like have the time beforehand to do everything that we're telling you guys to do. So I'm like, how am I going to service all these people effectively on my own?
Yeah.
That's
So
how amazing the strategy is.
this same strategy I've given to, I remember when I mentioned to Candice and then she was like, what the fuck? I've given the same strategy to other super successful people that like 250K a month from 10K a month. And it's something that comes back right to that simple why you're doing what you're doing. So
This is also being shared in masterminds as well. This is like 100K a year mastermind information.
okay, so everybody ready? Do not go into a sales call or chats with the want of a sale. Okay? Have the intention of being of service. Ask them one open-ended question about them or something on their social media.
Now, hang on. That's and that. Now, I'll explain this because I was going to explain this.
Okay.
So the first part is, yeah, Tyler's absolutely right. Do not go into the sales call. Do not open a conversation with somebody, whether it's in person or a chat online, with the expectation or the want of a sale. That's it. Have the intention of going into those conversations in being of service. And the advantage that Tyler spoke about before is treating those sales conversations or the possibility of a sale coming as knowledge gathering for how you can implement and change your marketing and advertising more to suit your audience. So go in curious, go in with the intention of being kind, genuinely wanting to get to know somebody, genuinely learning about what their problem is or what they're experiencing. And then if all of your content that you've been putting out, if all of your advertising and marketing is focused on speaking about their problem, their key couple of problems in life, they are way more likely to come to you and open up about their problem in the early stages of communication. So an example of this strategy working is you putting content out on your social media platforms, speaking to people's problem in a tight, succinct, beautiful way. Then somebody commenting on that, they could throw a comment back or a love heart back or something on your post or on a story that you've shared, and then you going in to their platform, their social media or whatever, on the phone, asking them something about them. Just ask them one open-ended question about them or something that you've seen on their social media. And if you have been speaking to their problem after that first opening, they are, oh my God, the possibility is about 90% high that they are going to open up immediately about their problem, because that's the reason that they're following you or connected with you in the first place.
So majority of the people that this strategy is going to work with are so ready to have that conversation. And I think the way that I used to portray this was to business owners. We used to do quite large rooms teaching sales, and they'd be like, I've messaged this person, I've messaged that person. Okay, cool. Tell me what you said. And it'd be, hi, how are you? Which is a great one that people love to send out. It's a bit superficial. And then it'd be like, hey, I've got this program. Oh, have you seen this? And that's like, fucking talk to people is what I used to say. Like, and Candice actually said to me, what do you mean by that? I'm like, just talk to people, ask them questions, ask them a question what they're up to, let them lead you to where they want to go, because people want to spend money, people want help, people want to grow. Like, I'll say this again, people want to spend money, they enjoy it, they enjoy spending money themselves, they enjoy spending money on products. If you ask them a question about themselves, about what they're talking about, and be interested, they'll open up and you don't have to sell anything. This is how you triple your income without selling. Just talk to people. It's pretty simple. So when you're getting on sales calls, all the stuff we're talking about marketing is when you do all the fucking legwork. when you're talking on a sales call, it's like, hey, tell me a little bit about yourself is the one I like to start with. And people know why they're there because they've been on your socials and searched you out. The statistic for people that check out your social media and your website before they get on a call with you or engage you in a business is staggering. In Brazil at the moment with a company, which is, I can't pronounce, but it's basically called Complain Here in the direct translation, is coming to Australia. They're looking at launching the exact same business here, where everybody in Brazil checks the complaints of the companies before they go there. And there's a, if you go under a 4.5, it actually costs you money to be on the website. You can't buy your way around it. So people are checking you out before you get there. So make sure, like Ken said, your content is on point. And then all you have to do is ask questions.
Ask an open-ended question early, and they will be, as I said, more than likely they're going to come back quickly with their problem. Here's the next step of the strategy that works really, really well. Have free resources ready that are of high value to offer them. Now, this is the key. They must be high value. They actually must make you question as the business owner, should I be giving this away because I have charged people for this, or I feel like I should be charging people for this? The more that you give, I can assure you, the more inclined someone is going to want to be to spend with you, because they still don't necessarily know how to do it, or they need some accountability, or they don't want to do it on their own. They haven't got that motivation and drive yet to stick to something to make the change. So they are more likely to buy from you if you offer something of high value. The other part to that is it's going to drop a question, maybe just unconsciously in their mind. If this is what they're giving away for free, what do I get if I pay? So it also gives you that opportunity to get their email address, or just make it super easy. Don't be grabby in this process. Don't be like, oh, I've got to get their email address, or I've got to get this or that. Most of my sales conversations actually happen through Facebook Messenger. There's no phone number exchange. There's no booking in my calendar. I've got no other details about them. They could block me on Facebook tomorrow and I've got no contact with them again. This is the world that we live in right now. It's comfortable for people. People are getting more used to it, and people are less inclined to want to hand over details. So if you can drop things into the social media chats, do it. If not, if you actually have documents that won't share, then make sure you get their email address, and just don't spam them. Just keep the connection and that going. Keep engaging with them on social media. I can assure you, though, if you do this well, the majority of people will want to buy from you then and there.
They will.
Within days afterwards of checking out your free content, they will.
They will. We've done it ourselves with people with marketing in the past. A couple of years ago, you get contact and you're like, what the actual hell? So when you're giving out that free resource or free tool or free ebook or whatever it is, then it has to be something that people are like, well, I can actually use this to run my business, or I feel better already, or whatever that is. It's super important.
Yeah, it's amazing. So drop a yes. If you're watching the replay of this, drop a yes if in the comment box if you're finding this valuable, because this turned my business on its head. I was like that duck on the water after I implemented this, where it looks all calm and smooth above, but like underneath, I was like, oh my God, I was running out the tile. Like, well, I've just made another sale. I don't know what to do about it.
What do I do? I'm like, start writing names down. So,
yeah, and I had to implement systems as I went, and I'm grateful that I did have all of this knowledge of business before starting this business. So I was implementing systems on the fly, and then not having them ready to go, I had to get that momentum going again with my marketing.
Yeah.
So this is like a rocket ship. You're kind of fueling it, right? You don't want to have these stop and start momentums all the time. You just want to create that momentum and have that sustainability continue forth. So if you're finding this valuable, drop a yes in the comment box. We really want to know. It helps us fine tune what we're teaching as well.
Yeah, we want to be able to talk to you guys as efficiently as possible. So this is the key takeaway from that. And then I'm going to quickly burn through 7, 8, and 9, because they are going to help you, but you've got to get your business to a point where you're getting sales for them to be truly valuable.
I think we should leave them.
Number
Another
6,
masterclass.
so confidence, certainty, authority, advantage, and credibility are going to get you ready for knowing all of those key factors to be able to have mastery on the call. If somebody messages you and says, hey, I'm interested, I'd love to know more, get them on the phone and just say, hey, it's a quick 10 to 15 minute chat. I just want to know a little bit about more you to see whether this is going to work. If they say no, they were never a customer, and you just keep working on that confidence, certainty, authority, advantage, credibility, and you will hit that mastery point in your sales where you're just talking to people and you're going to know within 3 minutes of being on the phone for them if they're the right fit. If they're not the right fit for your product, then you say to them, hey, is it okay if I add you a little bit of value? So this is what I do as a person, because I feel it's important that everybody who we talk to leaves with some value. I ask them what the biggest issue in their business is that they can't afford to work with this or they don't have the time. And I solve that problem for them through coaching. And then that gives them then the ability to go and make some money, get going, feel good, and talk about us properly. That their process is the best sales process you could ever have in your life. And it has worked for us to turn over a lot of cash. It works for our clients. It just works. Talk to people. So if you're not on the phone, you're not asking enough questions.
Yeah. And it's as I just said there, it works even if we stop and start it.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, like it's like turning off a tap. It works. It works. It works. We've seen it work in multiple other people's businesses, particularly service-based businesses. This can work for product-based businesses as well, with a little bit more effort and a little bit of change. But we mostly service service-based businesses, and that's what this masterclass is for. So it absolutely works.
100%. Step 7, evolution. So know where your customer's going so you can continue them in your network. It's 6 times easier to sell to a pre-existing customer. And there's that, we'll delve more into that at another time, but there's a lot more that's involved in that evolution, and knowing where that person's going based on.
I think that statistic, sorry, is 63% easier to sell to an existing customer.
That's
which is incredible.
Step 8 is leadership. So people are already subscribed to society and a set of programs and systems to follow. They love it. People love following the programs. They love lining up. They love doing what they're supposed to do. So it's up to you as a business owner to give them the systems to move through. It is your job to lead a person to your product and to success if it serves them. And that process starts well before you engage. Finally is wisdom and leverage, and that's something that comes in once you've nailed all of those things and you've got good consistent cash flow and your business is running well and you've been measuring. It's the ability to be able to plan for the next 12 months, 2 years so effectively that you have the wisdom and the leadership and the leverage to be able to walk into a bank if you wanted to and borrow money, which you can do. You could sell your business. You have so much knowledge and integrity within yourself as a business owner that you continue to go forward and be able to turn that cash tap on. I want you to imagine that if you were walking out to your kitchen now and you turn the tap on and you put the glass underneath and it just filled up with $100 notes, that's what your business should be doing. That's where you should be heading. And that's where we want you to go so you can live that abundant life. We want this for more people who are doing the right thing and creating that legacy wealth and creating beautiful things. All right. I'm just going to punch back through. So if anybody wants to take any screenshots of the slides, do it now. You got that one. And then
they can rewind. They can rewind.
Yeah, I like this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We're well over time.
Okay, I'll stop the share. Okay, guys, just chilling. You can see Candice and I.
Now, implementing is the key.
Implementing is the key.
And Tyler gave you a task before with the model of 5 to go and answer all those questions. Why, what, how? And I'd recommend that you start there.
Yeah. So write down those 5 points, get a page for each one. Why am I a business owner? How am I a business owner? What am I as a business owner? And the same for all of them. We'd love to see your results or anything that comes out of it. If you get any success or any aha moments, please comment them in the comments below or send us a DM. We're going to give you guys a call to action. We are running our business coaching container. We would love for all of you to be in it if you're watching this and you feel like there's some value there. We've rushed through a few things because we've tried to jam as much quality content as we can into this so everybody can get their nuggets of wisdom for where they're at. We want you to succeed. So if you would like to work with us and you want to know more, please send us a message. We will reach out to you and ask you whether you want to jump on a call. We'd love to talk for 10 or 15 minutes if it's possible. Yeah, thanks very much for listening to us, and stay in touch because we're going to run another masterclass on next Friday. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And the feedback that we've been getting on the coaching container is that it's well underpriced, which we know it is. And we know that it is compared to some other things that we know are out in the market at the moment. And there is a reason for that. We have a big mission to impact 100 businesses a year. So we hope that you've gotten lots of value from this. I'm going to go to the kitchen and turn on the cash tap because I didn't realize that was there.
It's a cash tap. All right, peace out. Bye, everybody.